and welcome to the Haverhill Journal, where we give you a quick look at what's happening now in our city. I'm Lindsay Paris. Do you remember the days when freshly bottled milk was delivered straight to your door and turned into the best homemade ice cream you ever tasted? Come along with me as I get the scoop on some of the lost dairies of Haverhill. Also later, we'll be meeting a local 12-year-old who has made it her mission to help hospitalized kids' days be a little brighter. But first, the Haverhill Armenian Apostolic Congregation's dream of 17 years was realized last weekend with the opening of the new High Point Family Life and Cultural Center. The $2.7 million center will serve parishioners from all over the region, some driving from as far as Maine to worship. The Journal attended the grand opening event to meet a few of the people who made it happen.
This is the grand opening of this facility, the Family Life and Cultural Center, for us to use. Tomorrow we're going to have our first service here. We have rooms, the Sunday school rooms and cultural hall and fellowship room, and for us to use. We've been cramped for so many years.
I've been signed as a pastor of the church since 2011. It's been 6 years I'm in the parish. When I came, parishioners presented to me, parish council, like, this is what's our project. We would like to move forward and build a new facility for our parish, because our church is a merger of two churches, Holy Cross Armenian Church in Lawrence and then St. Gregory the Illuminated Armenian Church in Haverhill. In 2015, we commemorated the 100 years of the Armenian genocide, which happened in 1915 in Ottoman Turkey. 1.5 million Armenians were perished. And 2015 it's a milestone year for us, and we had a big meeting, and we said, now this is a year that after 100 years, let's move forward.
It was definitely a community effort and a group effort, not just the people of Haverhill, but it's the regional community that came together and helped this happen. Whether it's just support, money helping us, fundraising, coming to our events. It was, everyone kind of lend a hand and help put all this together.
Our local bank, Pentucket Bank, was very helpful, supportive, generous, and they financed the project. And also, we were working with the channel builders who built this building, who put this building together. And then God blessed us, and everything worked. The doors were opened, and here we are in this new building. And we're looking forward for building our community and growing and sharing this building with everyone.
Thankful for the participation of everybody in the support from around the country, actually. Father Vart and myself went to the Diocesan Assembly last year in Cleveland. We presented our program as to what we're building, and people were donating to us back, and they're from all over the country. And this is the first time two parishes merged in the Eastern Diocese. So that's another great thing that has happened for our diocese, and it's successful.
I was married to Paul Tavidian, who was a member of the Haverhill Parish when we married, and that was 57 years ago. Paul was on the initial committee of building the church, and he was on the committee for getting the foundation laid here. He was an electrician, and so he had, a background of building. I wish he was here now, but he knew this was going to happen. He always had the faith.
I've been waiting for this to happen for all these years, and I thank God that I was able to be here today.
It's almost like you can't believe it. We've waited and waited so long, and the day is finally here. A lot of hard work. People who were with us when it began are no longer with us, but it's a beautiful day. I'm over the moon.
We're just anxious to get started, and people looking for our Armenian ethnic foods and culture.
How do I say it's spectacular. It really is. 23 years in the making. I hate to say that the vision was here on this land 17 years ago when we found the piece of property in June of 2000. It's just been an incredible journey, and we've persevered through these years of ups and downs.
We are very happy, and we are very proud that on this day we're still building churches, cultural centers, and we're moving forward.
The new church at High Point is located at 1280 Boston Road, Route 125, in Haverhill on the North Andover line. I get a little nostalgic when I hear the tale of the friendly local milkman's knock at the door, carrying his cadre of fresh dairy products produced at one of 22 dairy farms in Haverhill. Today, that sounds almost as incredible as an urban legend. But only 60 years ago, creameries all over the city brought their milk straight from the cow to you and served up their fresh churned ice cream at small roadside stands. Come along as I visit some of Haverhill's lost dairies.
Today, milk comes to the customer, whether at home, store, or restaurant, at the peak of its triple goodness: fresh, pure, and energizing, enriched by added vitamins.
Milk, cheese, ice cream. Where do you buy all these delectables today? At the supermarket, of course. Where I got this milk from New York State, this cheese from Vermont, and I saw some ice cream. I have no idea where it was made. But 60 years ago, every glass of milk and every scoop of ice cream was produced here in Haverhill at your friendly local dairy. At that time, over 20 dairies in Haverhill would deliver straight to your front door. Come along with us as we explore the wonderful world of Haverhill's lost dairies. Dairies and milk distributors were everywhere in the city in 1950, delivering milk to their thirsty customers.
Little milk bottle that went to the schools. 1941, my father started bottling his own milk and started distributing it. At that time, there were 22 other dairies in Haverhill, and my father always said that we were the last dairy to go in business in Haverhill, and we were the last one to go out of business in Haverhill. So we had a good 60 plus years in the dairy business. The other 22 other dairies, the biggest in Haverhill, was Wasson McDonald.
The Wasson McDonald, also known as Wasmaco milk operation, was one of the biggest in town, with over 100 trucks on the road delivering milk each day. They were located here on Primrose Street, as you may remember, on the site of the behemoth Joseph's building behind me. And ironically, Wasson McDonald's bustling 7-window ice cream stand stood on the very spot where the golden arches of this McDonald's restaurant stands today. The name Cloverleaf Dairy was synonymous with quality milk products here in Haverhill for upwards of 6 decades, starting out on Water Street in the early 1900s before moving here to its location on 12th Avenue behind St. James School. And just as beloved as Cloverleaf's home milk delivery was their ice cream stand here on Route 110, now in its modern reincarnation as Biggers. We went inside to get the scoop on the Cloverleaf legacy.
What we understand, it's possibly in its 107th year as an ice cream stand. It was Cahill's before the Biggers bought it, and then it was Cloverleaf Dairy before that for a number of years, and all the dairy was made right in town. So last year we had a guy that came and he filled us in on a little information about the past of the place. His dad used to be the dairy farmer that produced the milk that they made the ice cream from, and it was funny to hear him say that it was his dad because this was a gentleman probably in his 80s.
Spring Hill Farm here in Ward Hill was the last to cease milk production here in Haverhill in the 1990s after transitioning over to spring water bottling. Owner Dale Rogers Sr. told us about his adventures in dairying.
So we grew up here, milking cows, working on the farm. My grandfather came down from Maine and bought this farm in 1902. And we just kept bucking the trend and surviving until we couldn't survive the dairy part of it any longer. Since then, we've transferred over to bottled water, so we're still here, still doing something. Back when I was starting out, we had probably over 600-700 milk customers. You know, we used to do a delivery house about every minute or two. We'd be at a door, and you'd grab the milk and run out to the back door and back again with the empty bottles. It was sort of like hopscotch of milk trucks. One milk truck would deliver a stop, and then there'd be another one come up, and he'd go in front of you and he'd do a house, and then another one go up in front of you, and they'd leave a note in the milk bottles saying, I need 4 quarts of milk today, or a pound of butter, and a dozen of eggs, and we'd leave it at the back doorstep. Or quite often those days, you even brought it in and put it in the refrigerator for people. So it was a different world. The milkman was sort of part of the family. In the 70s, the families were working. There wasn't people to bring the milk in, as I've just mentioned. People started doing more and more supermarket milk buying. Times changed. We had to change with the times.
Is the heyday of the local dairy over? Maybe. However, you can always get locally made ice cream at Biggert's and Carter's in Bradford. But even for those of us who weren't around, the memory of the milkman lives on. You know, it's a lost era and all, but I really wish someone could bring the local creameries back. Maybe someday. 12-year-old Noelle Gregoire of Haverhill loves to dance, swim, and read, like most kids her age. But unlike other kids, she has been running her own charity since she was only 9. Noelle has lived with a difficult spinal condition for most of her life, and she told us about her inspiration to create the Laps4Backs charity and her very exciting upcoming fundraiser.
I started my Laps4Backs charity because when I was 5 I had an MRI and they took me to a prize closet and there was only 2 prizes left, so I said, what happens to the kid after me? They said they just won't get anything, it only goes by donations. So when I was 9, I told my mom I wanted to start a charity.
When Noelle was 5, she was diagnosed with dysplastic spondylolisthesis. It's an extraordinarily rare birth defect. She was not allowed to do any activities. She couldn't ride a bike, she couldn't go sledding, she couldn't do any of the little kid things, but she could swim. And then she came up with the idea of swimming across a lake.
In 2014, I swam across Province Lake in New Hampshire.
What are you doing this for?
My charity. And I buy toys to give to hospitals.
She raised money, she raised about $2,000 that first year, and every year it's grown since then.
The water was really cold, but I'm glad I did it. It was definitely worth it.
In 2015, she did have spine surgery. She had lost function in her lower limbs in August, and she wasn't able to walk. And she wanted to continue to raise this money, not knowing if she'd be able to make that swim because she wasn't walking at that time. So we came up with the idea of having a dance party. The entry fee was a toy, so we could give those toys to the hospital, or if they couldn't get a toy, $5, so we could buy a toy. And with that, you can come in and you can get your face painted, you can do a craft. We have balloon pops, which are super fun. You pop a balloon, you don't know what you're gonna get. We have more raffles, we have hotel stays, zoo parks, restaurants gave us a lot of gift cards, all kinds of family things. We've got wine tours, we've got something for everybody. It's just a really fun event.
So we're having my event on May 7th from 2 to 4 at the AmVets down on Primrose Street. There's going to be balloon pop prizes, lots of raffles, and there's face painting, dancing, and more.
There's a lot of different things that are fantastic about the response we receive. The staff that we give these toys to, they're so excited to see that they can give them to the kids. And then when she delivers them to the children themselves.
One of my greatest memories was they said, hey, do you want to go deliver a toy to this kid? We walked over to him and he just woke up and I handed him the stuffed animal and he had this huge smile on his face. It just makes me feel like amazing that I can just see these kids and I just know that they're going to be happy with it, and it just makes me feel great.
The Laps4Backs fundraiser party is Sunday, May 7th, beginning at 2 p.m. at the AmVets at 576 Primrose Street. The price of admission is a new toy or $5 to buy a new toy for hospitalized kids. Visit Laps4Backs.org for more information. Next weekend, May 5th and 6th, there are 2 huge events going on in downtown Haverhill, the O Positive and Better Block festivals. Both festivals are making their debut in Haverhill this year, after running successfully in other cities around the country. O Positive is a 2-day event, kicking off at 5 p.m. on Friday, May 5th, with an artist talk by Brian Canty, who is painting a new mural over the weekend on the Rent-A-Center building on Merrimack Street. Music and wellness events will be ongoing Friday night and all day and night on Saturday. Get the full schedule at opositivefestival.org/Haverhill. Better Block is a 1-day pop-up event centered around the Merrimack and House Street blocks that's all about envisioning what our downtown could be. It begins at 11 a.m. on Saturday, May 6th, with a community bike ride, and continues until 7 p.m. with a music stage, live theater, local food vendors, and the Ipswich Beer Garden. Between these two big festivals, there is literally something for everyone. So come check out both Better Block and the O Positive Festival on May 5th and 6th. If you have a story or event you'd like to see featured on the Haverhill Journal, call us at 978-372-8070 or email info@haverhillcommunitytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook or at our HC Media YouTube channel. And that's what's happening in Haverhill the week of April 27th. I'm Lindsay Paris, and we'll see you next time.